What's up guys, so in this video we're gonna be installing a new front and rear strut tower on my Mazda Rx8, and for this install we're gonna kick it back a notch, take it easy so we can enjoy this install. Inside this box there's my new strut tower brace, and if I have to be honest with you, I still haven't had time to open this box. I mean, I've opened it a little bit on the side just to check if everything is inside, but other than that I still don't know what's inside exactly. So for this install I think that we'll be needing just the basic tools like a wrench and a screwdriver, but since this is the first time I'll be installing a strut tower in the rear of the car, I think that we're gonna need some additional tools, but we'll find out which ones along the way. So now we can finally start unboxing our strut tower, and here it is. And this is my front strut tower, and I know what you're thinking. Why the hell are the mounting brackets in orange if my car is red? Well, the simple fact is that I'm gonna paint these brackets in glossy red alongside this aluminum or steel part right here, and I'm gonna cover it with a carbon fiber foil, and I think that this combination will look amazing. Okay, so this is the front strut tower and this is the rear one, and since the package did not come with any additional bolts or nuts, we're gonna install these two on the original ones. Okay, so these are the tools that I mentioned earlier. We have a wrench with sockets, our wrench extension, a screwdriver, and some apple juice to keep me going. So if you're new to this channel and like to watch Rx8 tips, DIYs, maintenance videos, and ownership videos, then definitely consider subscribing. Okay, so let's take our 12mm socket and start removing the 4 nuts holding down the original strut bar. We have 2 nuts on each side. When you removed all the nuts, take out the bar and put it on the side. Now put a 14mm socket on your breaker bar and loosen the 6 nuts holding down the mounting bracket of the strut bar. There are 3 on each side. Once removed, take out the brackets on each side. So now let's take a piece of wet paper towels and clean the area where we're gonna mount the new strut bar. Next up, take your new strut tower and position it on the bolts. Make sure that the bolt on the side of the bar is loose, thus allowing you to better position your bracket. Once the bracket is in place, take your 14mm nuts, screw them on the 6 bolts and tighten the whole thing down with your wrench. Now take an 8mm Allen key and position it in the hole of the bar's side bolt. Take your wrench and tighten down the bolt on the other side. Do the same on both sides of the strut bar. And here we go, our front strut tower bar is now pretty firm and ready to attack corners. So let's move on to the trunk. Take a screwdriver and remove the 5 plastic clips holding down the upper part of the carpet. Once the bolts are out, simply fold back the carpet. And here we can see the 2 bolts where we're gonna attach our rear strut bar. Take your rear strut bar and make sure that the bolts on the sides are loose. This will allow you to extend the bracket to better position it. Make sure that the bar is positioned like this before installing it. Now take your breaker bar and loosen up the nuts. Once they're loose, unscrew them with your hand and take them out. The rear bolts need a special wrench extension to be reached. I'll post a link in the description so you can check it out. Do the same with the other side. Position your strut bar on the bolts and tighten it down with the nuts we've removed earlier. Now to get the bar to fit on the other side, I had quite a long struggle, and the original nuts had a blank space in the bottom before the thread that prevented me to screw them on top of the bolts. So I took these nuts that have a screwable thread immediately at the bottom so that I can screw them on the bolt even if it has only 2mm sticking out. So now position your mounting brackets on top of the bolts, put a washer on the bolt and screw a new nut on top of it. Now it's finally time to tighten all 4 nuts with the same technique that we got them loose. Next up, put your 8mm Allen key in one side of the bolt and tighten the other side with your wrench. Do this on both sides of the strut bar. And our rear strut bar is finally installed. And boy do I need that apple juice after this. Jesus. Now it's time to put the side carpets back in place and secure them with the plastic pins we removed at the beginning. Okay, now that everything is back in place, we can have a look at how amazing the final product looks. I like the fact that the bar sits low in the trunk, and this way we don't lose any space or practicality. And let's have one last look at the front. And boy do I definitely need to paint the brace and this bar. But until then, it will be just fine. So guys, if you want to give your car some extra handling power, I'll post a link to the strut bars in the description so you can check them out and maybe try it yourself. And that is it for today. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a big like and hit the subscribe button to see more videos just like this.